Hello, this is Janet16 and welcome to this nice long update that is coming your way. The idea is today I bought a big box of track from Derails and I will put a link to their shop in the description. And I picked this up yesterday. I was actually going to get it next week but I couldn't wait. And I got a load of track on the layout at the moment, just randomly placed to see how it would all go. So the idea is, in this update, I will be filming all day. I'll film this part now, and this will just be letting you know what's happening. The next part, I'll be working on the track, and so on. I mean, I'll update you throughout the day. Should take me nearly all day. I haven't got anything planned. I've made sure I got a complete day off of working on my railway. Mum and Nat's gone shopping in Cheltenham, so I got a phone with me just in case anyone rings. Fish plates, which are really helpful because I wouldn't be able to get any of it done. I've got my phone with loads of pictures on of Stoke Summit, so that can keep me updated with that. This is the remote for my CD player, so I got Metallica's new album on standby at the moment. And I'll be listening to that throughout the day, probably over and over and over, and then probably some baby metal to finish the day off. Locos that will be tested on the layout, we have the B1, the Class 18, the J94, and the Castle, and a Pannier. But there will be an A4 later on once we get more track work done, and again I'll show you that. I also got Class 37 here for testing as well. So, right, what I've got to do then is get started on this track work. I'm working my way out this way. So I'm going to start with the down crate and the down express. And I want to take them right the way around to the signal box, which is roughly going to be here. And the signal box will be moved a bit more down this way, like that. So I want to get the track done to here, the both down lines. And then hopefully get that down line all the way around and back to the beginning. That's just a wagon I will be reviewing for Derails later on in the week. Well, I'll say later on in the week, it's Thursday now. Probably tomorrow. So, yeah, let's get started and I'll be back shortly with an update on the progress. Okay, so it's been about, I don't know, about 30 minutes, half an hour, and I put this track in, literally just ready for it to go around for the up loop, but the down loop, right across here, this point I mentioned, I don't think I mentioned before actually, because this is in the non-scenic section, you won't see this. I'm going to put an extra siding down here. And I'm going to have the engines all stored up on that. I can't remember if I told you that, but that's why that point was put in. And then we got the track going all the way around. It straightens up a bit here, just because of the bridge. The bridge goes in roughly about this area, but you can see where I've marked it. And I've had to straighten that track up just because of the bridge pillars. Because on the real Stoke Summit, the track, even though it's on a straight, the freight loops go out and around the pillars and back in. So that's what I'm doing here. So this track's going to be farther away from the main line on the inside. And then it goes all the way across here. Nice smooth curve. This is the tightest part of the curve and it's really gentle. It's not that tight really. And then we link up to the point here. So for the next job, I will be putting the track in from this point all the way down the express down line to here, and that should take me another half an hour, so I better get doing that now. I've had no problems really. What I've been doing is cutting the track, and I got a magic marker pen and I'm just marking where the track needs to be cutting it, and it's actually working really well. It's the first time I've ever marked them. Usually I put the pliers on. One second. I'm trying to put the lid back on the marker. Usually I just put the pliers on, mark the track like that, but with a marker pen it's a lot easier. I have wiped the marker off the track after if there's any left over, because it can get on the wheels of the trains. But yeah, that's all going well. Once I get this next track in, I will test the track. And yeah, I'll be back soon with another update, hopefully more track down. Okay, so I've got the second track in. This is the Down Express. From here all the way around to here. This track is purely in just for testing, but that's roughly how it'll go anyway. So that's good. I've put some locos on, ready to test. I got my B1 over there and my J94 over there. A couple of things to note. The final gap between the track, because the down goods would be slightly farther away, and I can show you that on my phone. 1 second. So this is actually the up goods down here, but you see it's got a bigger gap between the rails than the 2 Express, and that's purely because they were freight loops. I'm not 100% sure why it is like that, but that's fine. That's what I'm going by. And this is Tony Wright's Stoke Summit. This is just, I wanted to see how far the track was away. And so that's what I've done here. So the track's got to be moved in ever so slightly, not enough to make the joints a bit funny, because the joints are all fine, the track's been cut right. It's just final movements. Even the pins don't have to be removed. It's like just pushing the track slightly like that. But anyway, let's see some trains running. This is what I've been waiting for. I've plugged my controller in. This will power both rails at the top, including both freight loops. There'll be a separate one for the goods and the fiddle yard. On way. Right, so this is my B1. Now he's got to be going down the freight. Down freight. Wrong way really, but never mind. Good so far. I do expect the couplings to catch a few of the pins as they've not been completely pushed down yet, just to make sure final measurements. That's why he's clonking now. You can hear clonking. He's just catching them. But that's okay. That's good. I've actually had a few problems with this loco the last few days, and I think that might have been the clonking. Not the actual thing. But let's send him the other way. Send him at speed. So they run really smooth. That's good. Let's just put them back in a loop, because that should be completely isolated now. Yes. So the J94. Let's catch the pin. So yeah, I gotta watch out for that, but that's okay. That's work in progress. Yeah. He works anyway. I got to put the pins down, and the train's catching the pins. But I'll do my final movements with the track now, just make sure everything's fine. And what I'm going to do is go from here, and I want to complete one oval of track so I can actually run some trains. So I'll be back in a second, and yeah. Okay, so what I have done now, as I said to you a couple of seconds ago, what I would do is get the track sorted and complete a complete loop, and that's exactly what I've done. Now it goes all the way around and back to the beginning, and there's the exit. There's still a few areas where the track needs to be just slightly moved, but I thought before we do that, we will run one of the star performers of the Stoke Summit in real life, the A4s. And Merlin here would have gone past Stoke Summit, Stoke Signal Box and Stoke Tunnel a lot, because Merlin used to run on the Elizabethan, one of the A4s that used to work on that one, along with Silver Fox, and I'm not too sure the other ones, but Merlin was star performer. So we will get him running. Before we do, I just want to say this bit here will need a bit of tinkering as well. But anyway, without further ado, let's get an A4 running. This is the first time, by the way. And after, we'll look at a freight engine running. Lovely smooth engines, these A4s. I'm going to run them slow first, just to see. So this is the area I'm not quite happy with at the moment. Like I said, a bit of tinkering and that'll be fine now. It's nothing serious. I want to keep this as smooth as possible because this is where the shocks are going to be then coming out of the tunnel. Running quite well though. Over the point, good. The point might need a clean. That is an old point. But no, it's looking good so far. Yeah, not bad. Okay, so what we're going to do is try and speed up. I'll pull it to about the speed they will be running on my layout. That's roughly how fast they'll be going. Because that's a good simulated speed of about 80 miles per hour, maybe a little bit less. Maybe, I'd say around 70 actually. But that's quite good. He's running nice and smooth. No track problems, which is a bonus. And yeah, I would say that's a success. So what we'll do, we'll stop him now and we'll get a freight train running. That's going to look brilliant with all the track down in on the Elizabethan or the Northumbrian. So all I've got to do is change this track. These will be motorised. I was going to do a point rodding actually, but what I've decided to do is, because there's got to be built a bank, there's got to be a motor hid in the bank. This point down here, the same, because this one, I've got a bank area going here as well. That's roughly where the other point's going to be, which is going to be a curved express right-hander. Okay, I will set the camera down, and you can watch me place this engine. I think it's a class 3000. It's not actually a linear locomotive, but I have no rods, so you have to make do at the moment. And right, just make sure this point's changed on here. The track's not in the way, which it will be. There we go. And that point's changed. Right, here we go, a freight engine. I haven't actually ran this engine for a long time. Over the point, good. Again, that point's filthy. That needs good cleaning. And locos, it doesn't even stop them, so that's great. And again, a lot of these locos will need oiling, but that's going really well. Here we go. He's going into the freight loop now. And that is really good. That's really smooth. The freight loop, if anything, smoother than the main line loop, just because it's on the outside, so it means the curves are a little bit more gentle. But no, that's going really well. I'm really pleased with that. Looks like hard work. What time is it now? It's coming up to 12:53. I started at 11, so I've been doing this roughly 2 hours now, and yeah, it's going really well. I'm really pleased with that. That's running really nicely. We will stop him there. So what I'm going to do now is make a start on the inner express loop, which is going to be this one. And the reason I want to do that is because this corner will be tighter than this one. Not much, but I want to make sure it's not too tight, obviously. So we'll get into that and I'll be back. And yeah, here we go. And there we go. That was Merlin on one of my passenger rakes. And looks spectacular considering I ain't got no scenery and tracking, order tracking yet. But let's go through a progress so far. So at the beginning of the video, you saw me start with the down freight, and then I finished the down express, which completes a complete oval now, and that means I run some trains. That was a must do, just because I got so many new engines I haven't run yet, and I can now run them. And since then, I have put in the up express, not completely pinned down yet. Just making sure the measurements are right between the tracks. But it should be 100% fine. And I've stopped there because I haven't bought the point yet to go in here. So as soon as I've bought that point, I will continue the loop, which I'll probably get it next Friday when payday. So I'll probably get it then, and I can finish that. I have enough track to complete the second oval. In fact, I have this piece left over, which I'm going to use this for the gap between here and the point. That'll work out just fine. I also need a point for down here. I'm not too bothered about the point, what's going on the end of the head shunt loop for the stuff coming out the fiddle yard. Not too worried about that yet. Let's get the actual main lines done first. So yeah, I need a point there. I'm probably going to go with a left-hand medium pico point. And that'll complete that, and that means I'm completely oval. Probably going to need another three straights in that part. And then I have over here, I have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think I have 6, maybe 7 pieces left over, which is great because that's a box of 25. And I got 7 left. So that I should have enough to do the freight loop up to the point. And, well, I need 3 there, and I'm roughly going to need, let's say 1, 2, 3, 4. I might be 1 piece short. It depends how it's cut and everything, but as all goes to plan, I should be okay. So that's it. That's everything I can get done today. The reason I can't lay any more track, because I could start the up freight loop, but I've run out of fish plates. So what I'm going to do is message Dan. I know he's coming through Cinderford tomorrow. He's the guy who works in Derails model shop, where all this track come from, and some reviews come in as well this week. But I'm going to email him, see if he can pop by and drop some track off, and he can have a look at the layout if he wants to. But yeah, I'll message him now and see what happens. But that's it for this update. I've been working since 11 o'clock this morning, and it is now 1:30. And I'm going to sit down actually. We got Merlin now. Looks fantastic. Really does. Really lovely locomotive. This is the Merlin I picked up this year from the Monmouth show. Sorry if I'm shaking a bit. That's why I've been holding the camera. But yeah, that's him on the Express. I was going to get the Elizabethan on the track, and I thought, well, I'll get the nearest one I could. And it easily came out of that. This track here, not the one with the coach in, the track behind that, that's the part he come out of. He come out that really easy. I just got my hand underneath. Like I've said before, I've made it accessible underneath so I can get my entire arm under if anything derails. So that's good. So what I'm going to do now is put some freight wagons on the track, and we're going to have a freight train as well. And I'll end the video with the freight train going past the signal box. This is not the signal box that will be on Stoke Summit. There'll be a different one, which I'm probably going to have to customise and build myself. But yeah, I'll put a freight train on, and I'll end the video with the freight train going past. So thanks for watching. Thanks for supporting this layout. I've had a really, really good response so far. This is not the updates over. This is just a day update done, and I might do a day update again where I'm doing the rest of the track. But yeah, thanks for watching. Thanks for supporting the layout. It's a success at the moment. I'm pleased with the response I'm getting on it, and thanks to Tony White, because he's the guy who built his Stoke Summit and gave me the idea. So yeah, I'll leave you with a shot of the Class 3000 going by with freight. Thanks again, and more updates soon.